As you can see, I've got my bike back. Steve Abel, a bike thing. In this video, I want to talk about the new Gen 2 Canon Smart. I've already done a video on the Gen 2 already, which I'll show you a link up here. But that was when they first came out and I didn't know a lot about them. I now know quite a bit about them and how they're all set up. So, check out the new configuration. If you look on here, you can see I've got my D4s still where I used to have them. That's still in the same place. I've put some S4s in the position of where the OEM fog lights go. And I've got my D7s on the Adventure bar mount. Now, it's a lot of light, I know. Okay, I accept that. But you have to also consider that I am a Denali retailer and I need to basically show what the possibilities are. Now, if you didn't want to completely overkill it, we could take the S4s off or you could take the D4s off. So what I'll do is, when I do post edit on this video, I'll put a black box over, let's say, the S4s or the D4s, just so you can see what it would look like with the OEM light. Let's say one set of D4s and one set of D7s, because my D4s and my S4s are doing the exact same thing. They are sharing the same circuits, whereas the D7's on a complete separate circuit. Yesterday I went outside on the bike and I did some tests to show you the difference between the power of the OEM light and how visible it is during the daytime, not nighttime, daytime. I think in this day and age, modern bikes, we've all got pretty good headlights. We can all be seen in the dark, but it's during daytime hours. How easily are we seen? So the next clip you're going to see is of me yesterday out on the bike. I've put my camera up in various positions outside during the daytime to capture the bike with just the OEM light and with the Denali lights on, so you can see which is more visible during daytime hours. At the end of the video, I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to show you how the lights come on in here as well. So I've tried to capture as much as I can outside. The video quality is not as good as I was hoping outside. So whereas in here, as you can see the camera angle, I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing with the indicators, the on, off, and the way I've got the third circuit set up on the D7s, which not overrides, but does a complete different thing to the D4s and the S4s. Watch the video and don't forget, come back at the end and see what we've got going on here. Right, so the first test we're going to do is we're going to turn the lights off. So we've got absolutely no, turn them off. So 1, 2, 3, and those are off, and 1, 2, 3, and they're off. So all we've got there is just a standard OEM light. The time is 11:22 in the morning, midday-ish. Put this down, sunlight. And I'm going to go, hello, hey. And what I'm going to do is go down the other end, off into the distance. Literally, what you can see on the camera right now, on the main camera, I'm going to go right up to the very top of the hill, so the horizon. I'm going to go right up to the horizon, and we're going to see what the visibility is like. And I'm going to give you a running commentary of when I flash my light and when I've just got dipped on. So right now, the bike obviously thinks it's in daylight mode because it is daylight. So we should just literally have the halo effect on the headlight. Because as we all know, there's equally, if not more, of a concern that drivers just can't see us more during daylight rather than nighttime. You know, all modern day headlights work very effectively, and there's no real excuse why someone can't see us. Right, so I've got to the top of the road, I'm turning the bike around. Okay, so I'm completely out of sight right now from where the camera is. Now, when I get
along here, I know when I can now see where the camera is mounted. So I can see the exact, you know, where I've mounted my SLR camera. I can see that in the distance. I can't see the camera, it's too far away. But I can see where it's mounted. The question is, can you see me? So I'm coming down the hill. Obviously there's trees, there's bushes in the way, but this is winter time. There's trees aren't full of leaves. Okay, I'm now out of sight because I've come down the dip. So you shouldn't be able to see me at all right now. Right, now I can see where the camera should be right now, so the camera should see me. I'm going to flash once, and I'm going to take the flash off, flash on, flash off, flash on, flash off, flash on, flash off, flash on, flash off. Okay, so that's test number 1. And yes, the camera's still there. Hey. Right. Now I'm going to turn on my D4 and S4 running lights, which are running at only 20% they are. So let's do that now. Make sure they are definitely powered on. Don't want to get caught on that barbed wire. Right. So we're going to hold that down for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. They've come on. I'm going to turn on the D7s. 1, 2, 3. And they're on. Now I only have my D7s on as full beam. So these are not, I really haven't got these on very bright at all, these D4s and S4s. So it should be interesting to see how this comes out. Okay, and here we go again. There's a missing pole on that cattle grid, and you don't half feel it. So this time of year with that low sun as well, it really it's very hard to see anything really. Right, turn it around again. Skills, not putting the feet down. Right, so I'm coming back and I've got my OEM headlight on, my D4s and my S4s on 20%, so I can see where it is now. Can you see me? I wouldn't have thought so, it's a hell of a long way away. So I'm coming down the hill, so I'm going to dip right now, so you won't see me now. Right, now I've got to be careful when I flash now, because if I flash 3 times in succession, the strobes go off. So here's flash number 1, flash off, flash on, flash off, flash on, flash off, flash on, and let's give it a strobe. So how did that come out like then?
In '06 I had a jump shot. My older cousins always tried to get my lungs hot. At 19 I said I found God.
Okay, so we're off. Right, so as you can see, the SLR is seeing me right up into the distance. Now I did this test yesterday. I used my GoPro and something to do with the frames per second. I don't know, even though it's all adjustable. you just get this modulation, this flickering on the headlights. Whereas setting up my Canon DSLR, it doesn't create that flicker. I don't quite understand it. I think it's shooting at 24 frames per second. Anyway, so first test first. So I'm gonna shoot this with just my OEM lights turned on. So let's quickly configure that. Here we go. Right, so right now I can't see where the DSLR is set up. I'm approaching the Lavalier at 60 miles an hour, and I'm just coming into sight of it now. So can you see me? Can you see me? I'll give you a little wave. Right. Okay, so I'm going to go down here, turn around, and then stick on the D4s and the S4s. Right. And come back for the second go. Nothing behind me. Right. Right. Let's see how more visible we are now. Right. Approach the top of the road again, and I'll be coming into sight around about. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Round about now. Now, how much more visible am I? The cars are pulling out. Now, yes, I did this yesterday, and unfortunately the footage wasn't very good. I'll show you actually, but the footage wasn't good because I had flickering in my lights because of the camera that I was using. But you'll actually see when I'm arriving up here without my Denali's on, a car is about to pull out on me, and they see me at the very last minute. Now I haven't had that happen for quite a long time since I've had Denali's on. I know I'm a bit of a salesman here. I appreciate I am a salesman, but I'm only telling you the truth. Now, because I've got these on here, it does make me feel safer, but obviously being wary, you don't have a false sense of security. End of the day, you're riding that bike and you've got to watch out. You can't just assume people can see you just because you've got them on there. But if it makes you that just that little bit extra safe, then it's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. Right, I'm going to pull over. I think I'm going to pull in the middle actually. So we're going to turn the bike on. Now, I thought I'd do this outside rather than inside because one of the things that is unique about the Gen2 Can Smart is that we can configure up the lights very, very differently. So I've got 3 sets of lights, which is a hell of a lot, I know, but I need this on the bike to demonstrate. I've got circuit 1 here on the right hand side of the bike as you're looking at it, and I've got circuit 2 on the left hand side of the bike as you're looking at it. I've then got another circuit 3, running my D7s as a full beam. And then what you do in the Can Smart settings, when you plug the USB from your computer into the Can Smart, you say, I want this circuit on this side and this circuit on this side to become a pair of lights. So when you operate the lights, they both do exactly the same thing, because I've got 20% running on that side and 20% running on this side for running light, but I've got nothing running on my D7s. So that's a complete different, it's like a circuit and a circuit again. It's very, very confusing. And it's taken me a while to actually understand it and get to grips with it. But it's very versatile, and you can basically more or less do whatever you want with this. It's pretty awesome. So right now you should be seeing 20% there. When I flash, we've got 100% all round. I'm hoping that's going to come out and not blinding the camera too much. Okay. Now I've got it set that if I indicate left, the left side turn off, but the right, well, I'm getting my left and right mixed up now, aren't I? But you can see what I'm saying. So I'm indicating left, so this side all turns off, that side stays on. And the same if I indicate right, this side stays on, that side goes off. Now, if I flash my lights, obviously the OEM light will still flash. The D4 and the S4s on the side that's not on will not flash because I've instructed them to turn off. I can't even configure them to flash if I wanted to flash. So my D7s, I can flash them. So if I flash right now, you're probably thinking, why would I want to do this anyway? But let's say you're at a junction, you want to turn right, there's a car that's stopped and you want to flash him to go on. So you're prepared to wait for him and you're going to flash him. So rather than just having these sides flashing, because he'll be confused, you can do that. See? So those are flashing, but the two center ones and the OEM's flashing. Got it? So that's why I've decided to set up 3 circuits rather than just the 2 circuits or 1 circuit. So I've got the facility where I can turn those lights off there and I can flash like that, rather than just having one side flashing. So with my D7s, I don't have them dipped at all because I don't use them as running lights. So I've got these D7s literally pointing up quite high in the sky. I'm lighting everything up. I like that. Obviously the D4s and the S4s come on even brighter, which lights up everything on the road in front of me even more, and that is very powerful in itself. But having the D7s literally just light everything up, it's pretty awesome. You can just see everything. It just gives you more confidence when you're riding.
So what did you think? There's a big difference between the Denali setup and just the standard OEM during daylight. Like from a long way away, you couldn't even see the high beam working, could you, on the OEM? Now it doesn't look that far away on the camera, but it really was. So that ride up to the top of the horizon, as I put it, that must be at least 1.6 to 1.8 mile away. I'll say 2 miles, but it doesn't feel quite as far as 2 miles, but it's a good 1.5 miles away. So whereas this, you could see it a lot further on in the distance. So if you watch this on a bigger screen instead of just your iPhone, you can see the bike coming down before the green arrow pops up. You can just about see the bike coming through the trees, but it is a long way away. So I thought we'd bring it back in here in the studio, workshop, garage, and I'm going to show you my setup and my thoughts behind the setup. So as I said before, I'm probably going to put a black marker over the S4s or the D4s so you can get a feel of what the Denali setup would be like if there are less lights, because I appreciate a lot of people think I've got far too many lights, and if I'm honest, me personally, I probably wouldn't have this many either. I'm just showing you the possibilities of what this Gen 2 CanSmart can do, because right now you're seeing, I think this is in daylight mode, isn't it? Yeah, because it's just got the halo on the headlight, because when you just get the halo it thinks it's daylight, which I'm quite impressed because we're indoors. The D4s and the S4s are on at 20%. So, and the D7s, as I said on the video earlier, I don't have them on at all for running light. I just have them on for full beam, and I've got them pointing quite high. So, because they shouldn't be on when traffic's coming the other way anyway. So, what I'm going to show you is if I indicate left, you're right, you can see the lights go out. And when I cancel indication, they come back on again, and the same on the other side. Now, as you can see, my D7s are working. Just let that adjust slightly so you can see how bright it is. Obviously, it doesn't look as bright when it eventually settles down Hang on, I need to wait for that to come back again. It's like I've burnt the lens. Come on back. If I turn the lights off again, it should brighten up again. Come on. Right, there we are. These clever DSLRs. Right, so what I'm going to do is actually turn off my D7s completely. So I think that's the circuit where I have to press the indicator in 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so if I now flash, my D7s aren't coming on. That is literally just my OEM headlight and the D4s and the S4s. Bearing in mind the D4s and the S4s are pointing down quite a lot, they are. So hence why the OEM light's coming across as a lot brighter. Plus it's higher up as well. But I assure you they're not. So if I was to indicate left, you're right. And now let's say I want to flash another driver who's stopped in the middle of the road, and I need to basically say it's okay for you to go. If I flash, you get the middle light and you get the 2 on the right. Understood? Same if I show it the other way as well. I probably don't need to. It's just like that. Whereas if I put my D7s back on, 1, 2, 3, and this is how easy it is to turn everything on. So if I indicate right, you're left, and I hit the flasher, you can see, sorry, that's strobing that is, you can see you get a more of an even central flash, and we're still indicating. Yeah. So that's one of the main reasons why I decided to use 3 circuits on the Gen 2 CanSmart. So what I've got is I've got circuit 1 coming down one side, circuit 2 coming down another side, and then when you are on the, hang on, my camera's about to suddenly pause. Disregard the D7s at this point. So this is literally just for a set of D4s. Let's say we've just got one set of D4s. I put one circuit down one side to supply power to one D4, and I supply another circuit from the CanSmart down the other side to supply the other D4. If I want to put S4s on as well, all I do is there's already a T-piece on that harness. You just branch off and just add power to the S4 on the same circuit. Hence why the S4s and D4s are doing the same thing. And I can't tell them to do different things unless I wire them up differently. So they're both coming off the same circuit. And then when you plug the CanSmart in, this is a unique thing that the Gen 2 does, and that the Gen 2, that the Gen 1 doesn't, is you can tell those 2 circuits to become a pair of lights. So if I now turn these lights off, if I hold in the indicator for 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, they both turn off together rather than just the left side or just the right side. Whereas the Gen 1, it would be literally one circuit was shut down. So if you try to do this with the Gen 1, if you held it on for 3 seconds, one side was shut down. Whereas with the Gen 2, you can make them a pair in the software. So I've still got my D7s turned on. So I'm now going to turn back on my D4s and S4s. Hold that in for 3 seconds. They're now back on. And it's the same again if you want to adjust the brightness of them. So for pair 1, with my thumb, I'm going to push it out to the left. 1, 2, 3. And that pushing the WYSI wheel. I've now got 5 seconds to adjust all the dimming functionality. So that is now me just adjusting the running light. And if I want to adjust the full beam, I would put it on full beam and do that. Obviously the S7s are blinding, so the D7s are blinding us. So put that back on there. Turn it all the way up. Scroll it all the way to the top. Take full beam off, and then set the running light. So that's 0, that's 10%, that's 20%. And then when you want to adjust the D7s, so if I now push my thumb across to the middle of the bike, 1, 2, 3, they blink, and that is now the running light for the D7. So I've got mine at 0. That's 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, it's getting too bright, and plus I've got them pointing not at the ground. So let's stick them on 0, and then obviously if I want full beam, I can adjust the full beam by doing that as well. So that's the full beam setting for the D7s, and then take that off. So there we are. We've got the D4s and S4s on 20%, D7s on 0, full beam, everything 100%, and that's all done just using the Wonder Wheel, the Whizzy Wheel Wonder Wheel on the handlebar. Don't have to touch anything under the seat to do that. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, and it's not too repetitive from some of the other videos I've done, because the Gen 2 is a little bit more where it's a different animal really. You can put a lot more through it, and the whole thing with the D4s and the S4s, you just couldn't do that, and there's so much power running through this that you can't have these 3 lights all set up on the Gen 1. Let me just think about that just for a second. So you've got 10 amps on the D7s, you then got 6.6 on the D4s, and then you've got another 3 amps I think it is. You probably can, but they're all going to be running on the same circuit doing the same thing. So you wouldn't be able to have the versatility of turning. Well, first of all, you wouldn't be able to have the versatility of having one side go out when you indicate, and you wouldn't have the versatility of being able to have 2 lights work independently, so you could flash the way I've got my D7s flashing when I'm indicating. Just little things like that. So I'm really, really pleased with the functionality. And the other great thing is these CanSmarts are cheaper than the Generation 1. How great is that? So they are making this more affordable now. Now I am going to put, because I always do this, and there's always a selection of people that want what I've got on my bike on their bike. And it's usually a case of because I actually install. Just a
sec. You don't have anything by JK in your music.
I didn't speak to you, Siri. So, and the other thing to bear in mind is because I get customers coming here to have their Denali setups installed on their bikes, and they normally buy a bundle, a D4 bundle or a D7 bundle, and when they're here, they're sat here drinking my coffee, chatting away, talking bikes and all that sort of thing, and they end up sticking a set of S4s on, or they end up sticking a rear light on. They always end up buying a little bit more, or buying one of the new InOV dash cam systems, which I've got on this bike now, and that's in my next video. So if you want to see that, because that is an awesome bit of kit. I know there's a lot of reviews already on YouTube for the InOV dash cam system, the InOV K2, but that's coming soon. And I've also got an InOV, I can't remember what it's called now. There's a brand new InOV helmet dash style camera coming to market as well. It's not officially launched yet, I don't think, but they've kindly said I can have one to review on YouTube, so that's coming soon as well. So these are some really great videos, and with some really, really great products. And I've also got some new soft bags coming, which I'm going to be selling as well. What else? I've got some clothing as well, not my own branded stuff. Some clothes that I really, really like, and the company I buy them from has agreed to supply me them if I do reviews for them. But these are clothes that I've already spent hundreds of pounds on in the past already. So I'm a big fan of them, and they obviously want to keep me as a big fan. If you like this video, if it's been of any help to you, making your mind up exactly which way you want to go, what kind of lights you want on your bike, then please could you do me a favour and just give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. I really appreciate it if you can interact with me on my YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, why not subscribe? Just subscribe. And if you don't want to miss these videos that I'm launching, then click on the little bell notification. So when you hit subscribe, it comes up with a little bell. And if you click on that, and then you'll get an email in your inbox saying a Bike Thing has just released a new video. Right, I'm off. I need to make another video on that dash cam. See you in the next one.